It's me. So tonight we're gonna do kind of like a takeout, fakeout, we'll call it that. And I found some recipes and I'm gonna make them. The first things I'm gonna do is I have a tablespoon and a half of butter that's melting, about a teaspoon of garlic, and I'm just gonna throw in mushrooms, these big old mushrooms. Don't worry, because they'll shrink. Just throw those in. Just have like garlicky mushrooms. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like at China buffets they have that, so I've decided that it would be good to have that. So next, we're also gonna have fried rice, teriyaki chicken, and I'm looking crab ragoons. So I'm gonna get started on all that. Okay, and so now I'm ready to show you the honey teriyaki chicken. I am making a few changes to it. I don't really like honey, so I'm going to replace the honey with brown sugar. I just prefer brown sugar over honey. So yeah. So here I just have some chicken. I couldn't tell you how much this is, to be honest, because I just used the remainder of like a bag that was frozen, and like it was the worst chicken ever. So I just cut off all the grody parts. And then you're gonna need a 1/3 cup of honey, or I'm gonna use brown sugar. So a tablespoon of garlic, half a teaspoon of black pepper, 2/3 a cup of teriyaki sauce. And lastly, you're gonna need 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. It also says to add in a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, but I really don't think with soy sauce that's gonna be too necessary. So I'm gonna mix this all up. You just kind of want to, get it all massaged and well combined. And then we're gonna go and cook it. Okay, so I just have a pan that has been heating over medium-low heat. I always side on the air of caution. I think our stove runs a little hotter. And I have a little bit of oil, maybe like a teaspoon in there. And all you're going to want to do is take your mixture and pour it in there. And you're just going to let this cook. And it'll glaze with the brown sugar. It'll create a good glaze on there. So we're just going to let that cook. Got my mushrooms browning over here. Here's an update on the chicken. Once it's cooked through, you're just going to want to turn the heat up a little bit higher and let the sauce reduce and let it kind of coat all the chicken, and it'll be really good. So the next thing I'm going to make is some crab ragoons. I got this recipe from Budget Savvy Diva. I'll have everything linked in the down bar. So I'm going to show you the recipe real quick and we'll get to work on it. So here's the recipe. And all you're going to need is an 8-ounce brick of cream cheese. This is a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic, about a tablespoon and a half, which for me was 1 green onion. And then you just want to thoroughly mix this together. Okay, so now we are ready to make our wontons. So you just want to get, I've kind of destroyed the packaging, but wonton wrappers, they are near the mushrooms at Walmart, so it shouldn't be that hard to find. So I've got my mixture of all cream cheese, garlic powder, and green onions. Add a little bit of water to help seal the edges, and some oil. Now in the recipe, she fried hers. I don't want to fry it, so I'm just going to bake it. And I think I'm going to dab a little oil on it and then put it in the oven, and hopefully that'll crisp up real good. Okay, so about a tablespoon of my filling in the middle of a wonton wrapper. This one kind of lost its edge. And then all I'm going to do is dip my finger in water and run it around the edges. And that's going to help seal our wonton. So, and you can really do these any way you want to. I'm just going to do opposite sides together. And the water really helps to seal everything together. So I will come back once I have this, because I cannot do it with one hand. so I have all my wontons, you know, kind of made. So I just have 12 of them, and I'm just going to take a pastry brush and just kind of dab a little bit of oil on them, because like I said, I don't want to have to fry them. I prefer to bake them.
So just going to kind of heat them a little bit.
Oven is preheated to 350 degrees. Okay, so I've kind of got everything almost finished here. Here's my chicken. It's really reduced, and it looks really good. It's kind of thickened up. I'm excited to try that. And my mushrooms still going. You just let them go. They're real easy. So for the fried rice, it calls for 3 tablespoons of sesame oil. What I've done is I only used 1 tablespoon of sesame oil because I just find it's really strong, and I think 3 tablespoons would be way too much. So I went 1 tablespoon of sesame seed oil, 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. And I'm just going to add in half a cup of carrot. The recipe calls to use a cup of the thawed bagged peas and carrots. I hate peas, so we're going to do that. I'm supposed to use a small onion. I had the green onions on hand, and I wanted to use them up. So I did about 1/4 cup of those, about 2 teaspoons of garlic. And you're just going to let those cook until the carrots get nice and tender. Okay, so this has cooked down, and just scoot all your vegetables over to one side. And I have 2 eggs that I've lightly scrambled, and the green is just some extra green onions because I used leftover bowl. And you're just going to want to scramble your eggs. Okay, so I have my egg all scrambled up, and now just going to add in 3 cups of cooked rice. I just made it this morning, kind of let it sit and get cold. I think the starch is in it or something, because you're supposed to use day-old rice, so I don't know why. So I'm going to add that, and then a 1/4 cup of soy sauce. So once you get it all combined, this is what it looks like. So yeah, I'm excited to try everything. Tell you what it tastes like. I would say that these were in for about 15 minutes at 350, and they came out pretty good. So here's my plate. Fried rice. I got our teriyaki chicken, just some mushrooms, and some crab rangoons. Okay, so I went ahead and tried everything, and it's really good. So I think I'm going to go sit down with my plate, and it's time to watch The Hunger Games and Catching Fire because it just came out on DVD today. I'm very excited, so I'll see you later. Bye.